Hi, Jim Obermeyer. And again, I'm talking about forgiveness, but in a different way. Let's talk about sin. What is sin? I know there are many people that probably wonder what is sin because you've never been raised in church or with the Bible. Somebody told me the other day who owns a Christian bookstore that when Charlie Kirk died, immediately somebody came and bought a Bible who'd never had one. And they've been selling more ever since then. What is sin? Sin is falling short of what God expects of us. Disobedience to God's commands. You say, well, what are his commands? Well, they're in the Bible, the 10 commandments. They used to be hung in schools. Some courthouses still have them. Unfortunately, they all should. That's what God gave to Moses, is what he expects of us. So the 10 commandments, I'm not going to go through every one of them right now. You can read them. They're in the Bible, or Google them. The 10 commandments, what does God expect? Jesus said something very interesting about the 10 commandments and what God expects. And he said, this is what God expects. God expects us to love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, soul, mind, and strength. And this is also in the Old Testament. And to love our neighbor as ourself. Well, there's two things I'd like to say about that. Number one, you can't love your neighbor as yourself if you don't love yourself. And can you really love yourself? And I'm not talking about being selfishly involved in yourself. Some people are so narcissistic, they post nothing but their own selfies on Facebook and whatever, and it's crazy. Really, I get tired of seeing that. But loving yourself is having a really realistic love of your own self. And we all love our own body because we don't want to be hurt, we don't want to suffer, we don't want to have pain. But you love yourself, your own spirit, enough that you want to live right and righteously and love others as yourself. That's the hardest thing to do, is to love others, realizing they are also God's creation and that we are to love them as we love ourselves and treat them as we want to be treated. That's the golden rule. If we don't treat others like we want to be treated, we are sinning. And then loving God with all of your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Well, the only way you can do that is to know who he is and to love and to receive him into your heart and to understand who God is and why he is deserving of our love. He's our creator. It tells about him in the Bible. Read the Bible. If you don't have one, get one and read it. Start with the Gospel of St. John. That tells a lot about who God is and who Jesus is. And receive him today. Amen.